I never thought my sister's wedding day would be the end of everything I knew, or the beginning of the nightmare I'd orchestrate. As the organ swelled and Emily glided down the aisle like some goddamn prom queen on steroids, Mom leaned into her microphone at the reception, her voice dripping honeyed venom. "Let's raise a glass to Emily, our shining star, and to Allison, who's finally found her place, behind the bar, serving drinks like the family joke she is." The room erupted in polite chuckles, those fake-ass laughs from cousins and aunts who'd whispered about my failures for years. But me? I stood there in my thrift store bridesmaid dress, clutching a tray of flutes, and felt the familiar burn of betrayal twist into something sharper, a vow, silent and steel-cold. I'd make them choke on every word. It started 15 years ago, back when we were kids in that sprawling McMansion in Greenwich, Connecticut, the kind of place where old money bought silence and new grudges. I was 12, Emily 13, and Mom, Victoria Harrington, queen of the PDA and silent partner in Dad's hedge fund empire, had just caught us sneaking out. Except it wasn't both of us. Emily had lifted Dad's Rolex from his safe, that gaudy Patek Philippe worth more than our school's annual budget, planning to pawn it for coke money because she'd fallen in with the wrong crowd at her elite prep school. The dealers were circling like vultures, promising her the high life if she just contributed. I knew because she confessed to me in tears that night, her perfect bob haircut disheveled, begging me to cover for her. "You're the screw-up anyway, ally," she'd sobbed. "They won't believe you did it, but it'll buy me time." Stupid, loyal me. I planted the watch in my backpack, let Mom discover it during her routine inspection, because God forbid her daughters weren't under constant surveillance. The fallout? I took the blame, got shipped off to a reform boarding school in upstate New York, the kind with barbed wire disguised as ivy and therapy sessions that felt like interrogations. Emily? She got a slap on the wrist, a new therapist paid for by Dad's guilt money, and a glowing recommendation to Andover. "You're protecting the family," Mom had whispered as she drove me to the airport, her manicured nails digging into the steering wheel. "Emily's the future. You're expendable." That word, expendable, stuck like a splinter, festering through the years as I clawed my way back. Community college on scholarships, a dead-end job as a paralegal in Manhattan, crashing on friends' couches while Emily jetted to Yale, then a cushy Wall Street internship courtesy of Mom's connections. By the time Emily's engagement to Chad, some trust fund tech bro with a man bun and a startup that disrupted artisanal cheese, I was the invisible sister, the one trotted out for photos, but never invited to the inner circle. Mom's empire had grown. Dad's fund imploded in '08, but she pivoted to philanthropy consulting, schmoozing billionaires for tax write-offs while Dad drowned in bourbon and golf. Emily became her mini-me, ruthless, radiant, engaged at 28 to a guy whose family owned half of Silicon Valley. And me? Allison, the embarrassment. The one who couldn't keep a man because my last boyfriend dumped me after Mom accidentally emailed him my juvenile arrest record. The theft I'd confessed to, sealed but not forgotten. The wedding was at the family estate, a sprawling colonial on 5 acres of manicured lawn overlooking Long Island Sound, tented in white silk and lit by 1,000 fairy lights that made everything look like a Pinterest fever dream. 500 guests, tech moguls and Tom Fords, socialites with Botox smiles, politicians who'd owe Mom favor someday. I was assigned venue coordinator. Code for glorified waitress, because you know how to hustle, ally, Emily had texted, with a winking emoji that felt like a knife twist. As the ceremony wrapped, vows exchanged under a floral arch that cost more than my annual rent, I lingered in the shadows of the bridal suite, adjusting Emily's veil while she preened in front of a full-length mirror. "You look like a goddess," I said, forcing the words out. It wasn't a lie. In her strapless Vera Wang, with diamonds dripping from her lobes, Dad's apology gift after another affair, she was every inch the Harrington heir. She turned, eyes narrowing in that way that said she was appraising livestock. "God, ally, that dress makes you look like a frumpy librarian." Mom was right. Why didn't you just dye it for once? Chad's groomsmen are already placing bets on how long you'll last before you embarrass us. Her words landed like slaps, but I swallowed them. Years of practice kicking in. Happy wedding day, Em. You deserve this. She laughed, a tinkling sound that echoed off the mahogany walls. Deserve? Honey, I earned it. Unlike some people who peaked in juvie. She air-kissed my cheek, leaving a smear of Mac Ruby Woo, and swept out to applause. Dinner was torture, seated at the kids' table with Chad's awkward cousins, picking at rubbery lobster while toasts flowed. Mom's was the kicker. She ascended the stage in a custom Oscar de la Renta, pearls gleaming like armor, and launched into her speech. Emily has always been our light, our legacy. From the day she was born, perfect, poised, she's carried this family forward. And Allison. A pause, the room holding its breath. Well, we've all seen her try. Bless her heart. But today, let's celebrate the daughter who soared, not the one who stumbled. Laughter rippled, not cruel exactly, but pitying, the kind that says, poor thing, she knows her place. Chad's mom patted my hand, and Aunt whispered, chin up, dear. I excused myself, tray in hand, fleeing to the kitchen where the caterers chain-smoked Marlboros and ignored my red-rimmed eyes. That's when it happened. The swap. I'd always known I was different. Ever since that boarding school hellhole, where isolation bred weird obsessions, I dabbled in the occult. Not the Hollywood crap, but real-deal folklore from dusty library tomes smuggled in by a goth counselor. Astral projection, lucid dreaming, the kind of shit that sounds insane until it works. Last year, after Mom cut me off post-breakup, focus on your career, not distractions, I'd honed into something sharper, temporary body slips. Not full possession, more like a psychic overlay, where I could borrow someone's senses for minutes at a time, feel their pulse, their secrets. I tested it on strangers in subways, petty revenge for catcalls or shoves. But tonight, fueled by rage and 3 stolen glasses of Veuve, I aimed higher. In the pantry, surrounded by crates of Dom Perignon, I closed my eyes and focused on Emily. Her laugh from the dance floor, her scent of Chanel No. 5 and entitlement. I pushed, a mental shove like diving into cold water, and suddenly, I was her. Not fully. My body slumped against the shelves, eyes glassy, but my mind flooded hers. Through her eyes, the world tilted. The reception spun in opulent blur, Chad's hand heavy on her waist, Mom's approving nod from across the room. Emily's thoughts crashed into mine, fragmented, frantic. God, this veil itches. Chad's breath smells like IPA. Did I lock the prenup? Wait, whose? Panic surged, hers and mine mingling. She fought it, an instinctive recoil, but I held on, whispering through her lips in a voice only she could hear. It's me, sis. Time to pay up. Her body stiffened. To the guests, she just looked tipsy, charmingly so. I steered her toward the mic, abandoning the dance floor with a giggle that masked my intent. One more toast. I called in her lilting tone, the crowd cheering as I ascended the stage. Mom's eyes widened pride? Suspicion? Didn't matter. Ladies and gentlemen, I began, Emily's vocal cords vibrating under my control. Before we cut the cake, I want to thank my sister Allison. She's always been there, taking the hits, so I could shine. The room cooed. I felt Emily's internal scream, a psychic battering ram against my hold. I tightened my grip, delving deeper into her memories, flashes of that night with the watch, her first line at a Hamptons party, the dealer who'd ghosted her after she paid up. But let's be real. Family's about secrets, right? Like how I stole Dad's watch and let Ally rot for it. Or how Mom covered it up because I'm the golden child. Gasps rippled. Mom's face drained to ash. I pushed on, controversial as hell, words tumbling like grenades. And Chad? Sweetie, that startup is just laundered crypto from your daddy's Ponzi echoes. But hey, in this family, we all have dirt. The crowd murmured, phones emerging, scandal fodder for tomorrow's society pages. Emily thrashed inwardly, her will clawing back, but I lingered just long enough to plant the seed. Doubt, division, the Harrington facade cracking live on Instagram. Then I released, snapping back to my body in the pantry, head pounding like a hangover from hell. The reception dissolved into chaos. Mom yanking Emily off stage, Chad's bewildered protests, guests buzzing like flies on shit. I slipped out a side door, heart hammering, the salt air of the sound slapping my face. Revenge tasted sweet, metallic, but incomplete. This was just the opener. Emily and Mom wouldn't crumble from whispers. They were vipers, coiled and connected. I'd need more.
Deeper.
As sirens wailed in the distance, someone calling the cops on the drunken bride, I vanished into the night, Ubering to a Fleabag motel in Stamford. There, in a room smelling of mildew and regret, I plotted. The swap had limits, 5 minutes max before psychic feedback fried my brain. But it revealed something else. Emily's secrets weren't just hers. Buried in her mind fragments, a folder on her phone, encrypted, labeled, A's Insurance. What the hell? Morning broke gray and unforgiving, headlines already trickling in. Harrington heiress wedding bombshell. Family feud erupts. I scrolled from a cracked iPhone, anonymous VPN shielding me. Mom's PR machine was spinning. Exhausted bride's emotional toast, but the damage stuck. Chad's family was reassessing, whispers of canceled deals. Emily texted me from a burner. You bitch.
Meet me. Noon.
The boathouse. Or I tell them everything. Everything? My stomach nodded. What did she have? The boathouse was a relic, sagging on the estate's private dock, where we'd played as kids before the rift. I arrived early, hood up against the drizzle, a canister of pepper spray in my pocket. Paranoid, but these were my blood, after all. Emily waited inside, makeup smudged, Chanel swapped for yoga pants and a hoodie that screamed incognito. Her eyes blazed fury, but there was fear too, raw and unfiltered. You think you're clever, ally? That little mindfuck trick? Mom knows people, shrinks, hackers. We'll dissect you. I stepped closer, rain pattering on the tin roof, like impatient fingers. Dissect away. But you owe me 15 years. The watch, the boarding school, every stumble you pinned on me. I felt it all last night. Your guilt, buried deep. She laughed, bitter and broken. Guilt? For saving your ass? You were the one who took the watch, ally. I covered for you, because Mom would have disowned you otherwise. The drugs? That was your crowd, not mine. I found the baggie in your room, saw you sneaking out. But you're the baby, the fragile one. So I swapped the evidence, let you think it was me begging. Pathetic. The world tilted. Her words clawed at the narrative I'd built, the victim armor I'd worn like a second skin. Flashes. My own hazy memories of that night, the watch heavy in my hands, not hers? Had I blacked out, high on stolen pills from Dad's medicine cabinet? Emily's mind swap echo confirmed it, a buried confession, her whispering to Mom. Let her take the fall, it'll toughen her up. Betrayal reversed, knife edge sharp. But no time for tears. Why now? The wedding. Because you're a liability, she hissed. Chad's family dug into us. Found the sealed records. Mom's empire, donations, board seats. It's all smoke if this blows. And you, with your freak powers? We could have used that, ally. Blackmailed rivals. Fixed deals. But you went rogue. Rogue. The word ignited something primal. I lunged, not with fists but mind first. The swap hit harder this time, fueled by betrayal's acid. Her body seized. I poured in, deeper than before, rifling her secrets like a digital thief. The folder. Photos, emails, me, younger, dazed, handing the watch to a dealer named Rico. Mom's wire transfer to him, hush money. And worse, Emily's text to a fixer, arranging my accidental overdose at boarding school, aborted when I transferred out. You tried to kill me. I breathed through her lips, her hands, my puppets, clutching the boathouse rail. Outside, Mom's Bentley crunched gravel. She'd come, alerted by Emily's frantic call. Time fractured. I forced Emily's body to the water's edge, one foot dangling over the dock. Controversial? Hell yes, drowning your sister, even psychically, screamed felony. But the rage. It justified everything. Tell her. I commanded her vocal cords. Tell Mom the truth. Emily's will bucked, but I held, making her dial Mom on speaker. Victoria, it's over. Ally knows. The watch, the drugs, it was her, but I let her take it. And the OD plan. I couldn't. Mom's voice crackled ice cold. What are you saying, Emily? Get inside.
Now.
But I didn't let her. Instead, I made Emily's hand slip the phone, her body teeter, a feigned stumble, dramatic as any soap opera cliffhanger. She plummeted into the sound, cold waves swallowing her scream. I released at the splash, snapping back, heart a war drum. From the shadows, I watched Mom race down, shrieking, as Emily flailed, strong swimmer, but panicked, weighted by wet clothes. Sirens again, this time real. Ambulance cops. I melted into the woods, branches whipping my face, lungs burning.
Revenge?
Delivered, bloody and ambiguous. Emily survived, hypothermic and hysterical, spilling half-truths to paramedics about slipping on the wet dock. Mom lawyered up, burying the rest. Chad bailed, prenup intact, his family citing instability. Weeks blurred in a Queen's walk-up, job lost, friends ghosting amid the tabloid storm. Heiress drowns in family secrets. I hold up, swaps limited to peaks. Emily in therapy, catatonic. Mom selling the estate, empire teetering. But the twist gnawed. My own complicity, the drugs, the fall I'd half-chosen. Was I avenger or monster? Final confrontation came unbidden. Mom tracked me via PI, old habits. She appeared at my door one rainy night, designer coat sodden, eyes hollowed by loss. Allison, we need to talk. I let her in, the swap humming at my fingertips, but I held back. We sat at my formica table, coffee steaming between us like a truce flag. Emily's broken, she said, voice cracking for the first time. The wedding, the fall, it's all unraveling because of you. Because of us, I countered. You let me rot. For what? Legacy. She sighed, deflating. Not just legacy. Protection.
You weren't mine, Ally.
Adopted at birth after Emily's twin died. Your brother, stillborn. I saw too much of him in you. The wildness, the questions. Emily was safe, moldable.
You.
You threatened that. The bomb dropped, reality shattering. Not blood? Not even close. The records, the family I'd bled for, fiction. Twist reversed. I'd been the outsider all along, scapegoat by design. Mom's tears flowed, genuine or manipulative. I loved you in my way. But the watch? You did steal it. Emily confessed she'd seen you, high, planning to run. I covered, sent you away to detox quietly. It was mercy. Mercy. The word curdled. But in her eyes, I saw the truth. A woman who'd traded daughters for control, now adrift without her pawns. Controversial decision loomed. Swap into her, force a confession on live TV, or walk, let karma's slow grind finish it? I chose the dark path, the debatable one. As she rose to leave, I initiated the deepest swap yet. Full merge, minutes stretching to eternity. Through Mom's eyes, the world aged. Her regrets, her affairs with Dad's partners, the philanthropy, that was just money laundering light. I made her drive to Emily's rehab clinic, burst in during group, microphone commandeered from a counselor. Ladies, I boomed in Victoria's polished timbre. I'm Victoria Harrington, and my life's a lie. I pitted my daughters against each other. Adopted one, framed her for crimes, tried to drown the truth in Long Island Sound. Cameras rolled, patients filming, viral in seconds. Emily's gasp, wide-eyed recognition. Ally? I spilled it all. The adoption, the twin, the watch cover-up twisted into mutual betrayal. Mom's body convulsed under my control, but I gentled it, ending with a plea. Forgive me. Or don't. But know the monster was me. Release came as security swarmed. Back in my skin, I watched from the parking lot, Mom restrained. Emily wheeled out in shock. Empire? Crumbled. Arrests followed, fraud probes, custody battles. Emily reached out weeks later, a tentative email. Was it you? If so, thank you. We were both pawns. Happy ending? Tragic? Debatable as hell. I vanished west, to LA's underbelly, new name, no swaps, just therapy and a barista gig. The headlines faded. Harrington scandal. Matriarch confesses all. Mom did time, white collar but soul-crushing. Emily rebuilt, sober, single, writing a tell-all that painted me ghost hero.
Me?
Free, fractured. Revenge tasted like ash, but damn if it didn't burn bright. In the end, the embarrassment wasn't the fall. It was rising, clawing truth from the jaws of lies. And if that's not American as apple pie and arsenic, what is?